One.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the season 2 premiere of How Delightful. I am your host, Dylan Andrews, and this is our co-host, Demonica I, and I'm very excited to start this season off with our very special guest, Rockstar, Angela ROCKSTAR Lantry from Big Brother 20.
Yes.
Yay.
I'm so excited to be here.
We are too, and I was telling you this over the phone. If there was any person that I could interview from Big Brother 20, I'm specifically happy it was you, because you were just somebody that was in the house that was really down to earth. You specifically stood up for things like you notified everyone about Juneteenth. You're a big drag queen supporter. You do all this stuff, and I just instantly thought you were so cool and like someone that just fit in with like our show specifically.
Thank you. I love it.
Me too. So, we're going to be using Zoom for the for this season of interviews and stuff like that, because it looks a lot nicer than Google Hangout does. We're able to show clips, and before we did this stream, we asked some of you viewers at home if you had any questions for Rockstar, and we will get to that. But firstly, we have some topics to get to. So I just wanted to ask, what made you want to do Big Brother?
So my mom and my stepdad are like really big fans of Big Brother. And my mom every single year was like, Angela, you should really audition for Big Brother. And I'm like, why? Like, I was, working and stuff. I was having kids and managing nightclubs. And like, I was like, I can't do all of that. And then I had a surprise baby, little Isaac. I had an IUD. He said, you don't. And he must have been a strong swimmer. He just popped right up, and I gave birth to him December 26th at 3:28 in the morning. So he was almost a Christmas baby.
Oh.
And I had left because, being pregnant in a club is not a good look.
Yeah.
And so I was just chilling, and my mom was like, you should really send in that tape. And I was like, fine, because I was trying to get her off my back, really.
Yeah.
So I sent it in, and they gave me a call.
Why didn't she apply if she was so desperate?
She's I don't know. She says, I'm just not the risk taker that you are. That's what she says.
What do you think it was about your video that made you stand out for them?
I definitely was myself, and I was like just being real. I wore my glasses, which I took off so you could really see my lashes, but my glasses are prescription, so I wore them, and I was just saying I have a few one-liners I like to throw out. Like I said, the people are always coming up to me and they're like, Angela, your kids are so beautiful. And I'm like, well, no one ugly ever comes in or out of my vagina. So I said stuff like that. And I don't know. I was just like fucking around.
That's like the best pickup line ever. Be like, nothing bad, ugly comes in or out of my vagina. You want to come on in?
Yeah, seriously. I make beautiful babies.
How many do you have? You have 3, right? 3 or 4? 3. Oh my gosh, you got the whole trifecta, the full house.
Seriously, I have 10 and 6, and we'll be 1 in December.
Wow.
I love that. It's really hard, like I give a lot of props to you because of, firstly, there have been a lot of moms who have gone into Big Brother, but just the fact that you went in after literally just having this 3rd baby, and you already have 2 kids at home too. And something that I really give you credit for is that all these moms that do go into Big, like I remember Amber, who was on Big Brother 8, she had that daughter that she cried about every day. People will call her Wamber. She went to all the after parties, and she didn't come home. She tried going to LA for weeks, trying to become famous. So I give you mad respect, because as soon as you came out of the house, you went back home.
Yeah.
seriously, like, and all these people are shit talking on Twitter, talking about, oh, well, she didn't want to be with the other house guest, blah, blah, blah. It's like,
Well, I mean, you're
no.
in the house for like so many months. I mean, you have kids. I mean, what's the first thing you want to do? The whole time you were so
Get the fuck home.
Right.
You were emotional about your family, missing your family. So
I love my kids, and I mean, let's be real. I also had my man back here, and I had a dick appointment like 3 months, behind schedule. Like,
one of my favorite things that you said was that, you know what, if I lose this game, that's fine. At least I got some good dick to go home to.
Oh wow, I love it.
that is the truth, though.
It is the truth, though.
I mean, all tea, no shade. I don't have a problem with the other house guests. I don't know why, like, the fans keep coming for me like I'm some shady queen. Like, I didn't have a problem with them. I just wanted to come home. Like, if they had a after party maybe a month later, sure, maybe I would have flown back out for that. But, like, I gotta go see my people. Like,
you were with those people for 99 days. Like, I don't think people understand what 99 days is. Like, I've thought about going on Big Brother when I turn 21. I know Demonica wants to do Big Brother as well. But think about how much time that is. My graduation was about the time that Big Brother started, and it just ended a week ago.
Right.
Like, think about that whole summer, and you're stuck with these fucking people. I can barely stand being around my fucking roommates for more than like a week. Like, I'm not gonna want to like go to Vegas and party and stay in another like month with them, like, after spending all this time.
Yeah, no. Yeah, seriously, like, I needed to see my people. I needed to refill my soul. I needed to see my friends that are like what I think is normal, which a lot of these house guests would probably think is totally abnormal. But, like, I mean, one of my girlfriends, I got back home and she's a bubble fairy, and now she's blowing fire bubbles, and I'm like, yes, that's amazing.
That's
like, I need
fucking awesome.
I want to see that.
It's so incredible. I'll send you like some links to her stuff. She's so cool.
I actually wanted to ask you about that stuff, because I know that, like, I saw that you did other interviews as well, and like I know that any other press you're probably gonna get, most of it's gonna be about stuff that was on the show, and we're gonna talk about stuff that was on the show and like stuff with the house guests and like all that stuff, and there's like so much like shit going on even after the show. But I wanted to ask you about that because you put yourself down as it was a festival coordinator, and like you said you were a Pagan Witch too. Like, yeah. I think that shit is so cool, and like I wanted to know a little bit about that because we didn't really get to like hear about that. Like, all it was they talked about the pots and pans, and they showed like game mode. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So I was basically a club kid from, like, I would say, to be 100% honest, from like middle school until like I was 22. And every time I would like go out to these clubs and stuff, everybody would be like, oh, you were born in the wrong generation. Come to find out, there's still festivals going on. Somebody brought me to a festival when I was 22, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's like a nightclub outside. I was so here for it. And there's like artistic people everywhere, and like aerial artists and yoga and just like, glitter. And I mean, it's just, I love festivals. And it's so interesting because I would say, like, within the past couple years, festivals have really grown into culture that, they've had a reemergence, where before it was just kind of this underground thing. I guess like most things that are underground, they come up from the ground. But as far as like my religion, I started practicing, I mean, you could call it Wicca, but it's like, I say pagan because it's just kind of a general umbrella term. When I was 12, and I just really, I was brought up, my grandmother was Jewish, and my mom, because my biological father was Lutheran, she had me baptized Lutheran, but they divorced, but she wanted like a community, so we started going to this church, and it was a real nice church or whatever, but I asked a lot of questions in Sunday school, and I would be like, I would raise my hand and I would say, oh, is God a woman? Oh, no, God's not a woman. God's a man. And I'm like, this is not resonating with me. So I just really started I would be like, are fairies real? No, fairies aren't real. And I'm like, well, you say angels are real. Why can't fairies be real? It feels like they're real. And then that just wasn't singing up to me. I've read the Bible many, many times, and I think that there's some really great stuff in there as well. But I did a Greek mythology unit, I want to say when I was in like 3rd grade. And then when I was 12, I started just really exploring things. It was when AOL first started, when I was that age, and I was able to access so much information and find out that there were religions that go back so far, way before Christianity. And I was like, what is this about? And before the Zoroastrians were actually the first monotheistic religion, and they believed there was this one fire god, and then the Jewish tribes and the Christian tribes and the Muslim tribes picked it up. Oh yeah, and this is the funny thing about my grandmother. So like whenever I would go to church, she would go, Jesus is a good man, not the Messiah, but a good man. So I had like all these confused messages. And so I just started doing this research, and I was like, wow, having a goddess and a god, that resonates with me, because there's masculine and feminine in everything, even our plant life,
Exactly. And everyone tries like backing away from it. And like, there's people, and now it's like more of a push, because because our society is becoming less and less like masculine, like pushed upon, like dominated, like
Exactly.
more and more people are open to that stuff. I mean, Ariana Grande's God is a Woman thing, and it's like everything you said makes so much sense. Like,
I don't know if she meant that kind of God.
I know, but it's like that makes so much sense. And when people hear like Pagan Witch, that's not the first thing they think of, and I just think that's
so can I tell you that like, so Chris was like, you should watch episode 2. So first of all, I didn't finish it just because we got into some other things, but but I did watch like the very beginning, and it's like the flight attendant, the welder, the Pagan Witch. Yeah, and I literally I was like, like I fell out of the chair. I was crying, laughing. I was like, the fuck is this? This is hilarious.
That was the way they said it, the Pagan Witch.
Pagan Witch.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I was no more good. I was dead. I was dying.
I had a friend named I can't remember her name. I think it was Ivy, but she was in high school, and she was into Wiccan, and she was the coolest chick I think I've ever met in my life. Like, she just so down to earth and everything. Like, and I think I got a lot of understanding from her about that religion, because a lot of people, I think it's very misunderstood religion.
Oh yeah, no, and it's nature based. So your church is just being outside and communing and understanding that the same energy that's within you is within the tree, which science actually confirms. Atoms are everywhere, and it really is
and
just
like, you're not teaching like consequences, or like you're gonna go to hell if you do this. It's all about love and spirituality, and
absolutely, and being who you really are, and being okay with that. And in paganism, a lot of times there are members of the LGBT community, because it's very gender neutral, and you could be embodying the energy of a god as a woman, or the goddess as a man, and it's very fluid and beautiful, I think. So that's why
I feel like if there is a god, and there is something, why in the holy mother of fuck would it be a white man with a beard? Like, that makes no sense.
I think that is that God represents you. Like, like people, if you're white, God's going to be white. If you're black, he's going to be black. He represents you, comes in your image.
Right.
Exactly. And like, who's to say that God even could be like out of everything on the earth, if like, why would it be a human specifically? Why would it be most of the world? Like, people, this is a common misconception, but a majority of the population of the world is actually Asian. It's not even white. It's like, I remember my social studies teacher teaching me about this. If you took everyone and put everyone's pictures together, it would form the face of an Asian person.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, it is, because that's what the majority of our world is. So
that's cool. It's probably because of Genghis Khan. He was getting it in everywhere.
Yeah. He was the pimp. He was the pimp of that day, you know?
Seriously. I think somebody was telling me that every, like over 70% of the world can trace their roots back to Genghis Khan and him just, like, going in everywhere.
Oh, my God.
Rockstar, have you ever performed? Like, I mean, you said you hanged out with a lot of drag queens. Have you ever, like, gotten on the stage and done performances?
Not at a drag show, although I would love to, like, host a drag show. That would be amazing. Or just be there. But I was theater trained growing up, so musical theater. So I have done shows and singing, and I did stand-up comedy once, and I didn't get booed off the stage, so I felt pretty good about that.
You were hilarious in the Big Brother house, so I would definitely think you would be great as a comedian.
The twerking gifts, everything. I was looking at a video earlier today, and it was like what we expected Rockstar to be like in the house, and it had like, I think it had like a Lazy Town song in the background, and it had like you blowing the bubbles, doing the peace sign, and then it was like what actually happened, and it had like trap music playing. It had Little John like playing.
I love that.
It was the fucking best. And my viewers will attest to this. The second I saw your interview with Ika, I knew that you had like good in you, and I was rooting for you from the start, from the first week to your elimination.
Was so it was like what we want to see in a Big Brother house guest, you know.
Thank you.
A real person, and like usually like everybody else was like, you know, they just seem so commercialized, like, you know, they're poster ready, or they're just like, they look like they were just picked up out of an acting school or something.
It looks like they had to fill in like certain stereotypes. And my favorite thing about you being a house guest was that I didn't feel like you fit a certain stereotype.
Right.
There wasn't like a category to put you in. Like even with Caitlyn, like there wasn't a category to put that girl into either.
It was like
people in a category. You just can't. You're a standout. You stood out.
Thank you. It was real flattering when I went out there, and they were just like, "We've never met anyone like you before," and I was like, "You must have, like, somewhere."
You would be surprised if I didn't have like access to the internet and access to so many different like outputs. Like if we go back even 10 years, even when I was in elementary school, things weren't the way they are now. And if I didn't have this outlet, I probably wouldn't know anybody like Demonica, or I wouldn't know anyone like you, because I have a town of 7,000, and so many people in just America live in these small towns. And like out of our whole town, I think we had one transgender girl who was my absolute best friend growing up, and there was I think one or two gay people that lived in my town, adult and child.
Yeah, one or two that you knew about.
Yeah, knew about. Have you ever seen Paris is Burning?
Yes.
Oh
okay.
my God.
First.
Definitely officially in now.
Touch this skin, honey.
My God.
Quote from that
How can you not be in the gay culture and not see that movie?
Right.
Exactly. And so many of these drag fans that they just watch RuPaul's Drag Race. They don't even know what the fuck Paris is Burning actually is. They just know that it's a mini challenge on RuPaul's show.
Those are the people that paved the way for me, for every queen in this world.
But my favorite quote was when she had the sit down with Octavia, and she said that there are celebrities that are having sex with transvestites, and they're going behind closed doors and fucking them, and it's so true.
Yeah,
it is. That's a great flick. It's a great.
Really is. I think they should remaster it and release it again in the theater.
I'm here for it. I don't know who we have to talk to, but
I'd be down too. If I was a teacher, I would show it in my classroom, honestly.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question from the UK?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a question from Valentino. He's in the UK and he's asleep now. And I told him I would ask you this question. It's a pretty decent question, so let me get to it. Okay, he said, what would you do different if you could enter that Big Brother house again? What would you do different and why?
I guess, I mean, I got to go with the most obvious answer because I really don't think I would have done anything different other than during that OTEV competition. I wouldn't have checked my answer with Tyler, and then I would have had my own veto, and then maybe I could have made some moves. I think I was so close to winning one of those, I like to call them the HOCs, the HOH competitions.
Can I tell you that you should have won that OTEP challenge?
Yeah, that was your comp, but this is what I got from that. Because I watched it and I was screaming, like it was crazy how emotional I was getting involved. But I honestly thought when that happened, that when he saw it, I thought that it just showed how good of a person you are, that how unselfish you are. Like you probably didn't really want to do that, but at the same time you did it naturally because it's it was heartbreaking, but it was that was your comp and. We were all like rooting for you.
I don't think though that Tyler should have been allowed to change his answer. Though.
Yeah, I don't think he should have either.
I know in past seasons that they said they couldn't do that. I think it was like in All Stars when James got the wrong doll and he went to it. He went back and got. So I just thought it was like ridiculous that Tyler got to do that. But maybe the rules are different now. But still, I feel like you should have had that competition. It's just a lot of things went wrong. For you to go, like, you went home on the twist, too. Like, everyone seems to forget that about Haley's HOH, that Haley didn't want you to go home. She didn't even go on the clock. If that damn hacker twist didn't happen, I don't even feel like your alliance would have been picked off.
Well, we would have still had Bayleigh, even though Haley did that. Sort of made, not on purpose at all, but, like, she tried to put Tyler up, and that caused that ripple effect. So we would have had Bayleigh and we would have had me if it was just like, but I mean, twists have become a big part of Big Brother. Back in season 10, there were no twists. It was all like strategy and everything like that. But over the years, the twists have become what makes the game so unpredictable. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's just, what you sign up for.
What did you think of Fessy, I can't say his name right, but Fessy's move, like did you think?
I don't think that Rockstar would have let that move happen if
he got so much backlash on Twitter. Like when that happened, he got so much backlash. Like everybody was like,
and rightfully so, because his move was, I equated to what Howie did in Big Brother 6 with Maggie. Maggie, and everyone says Maggie's like the worst winner. Maggie's an awful winner. That's just because they didn't like her. Maggie convinced Howie to go after his own alliance because he thought his alliance was shady, which was James and Sarah. Right. And because he did that, he gave up the numbers for the rest of the season. And that's exactly what Fessy did.
That's exactly what happened. I mean, the other side, for whatever they were, I mean, they had the ability to stick together. Whereas, like, our side, we love each other to death, and I would say we are loyal and we're family for life, but not a one of us ever fully trusted anybody. Like, we were constantly just doomsdaying the entire time. I mean, Haley, that was like my ride or die, and even at times, I'll be 100%, even at times I was like, are you in a relationship with Brett? Like, did you guys meet in college? Did you know, is that the twist? Did you guys come here? Like,
well, there was a lot of everywhere with everybody. Everyone was in everyone's bed.
She really did fight hard for you guys after you guys were gone, and it's like she was fighting for all of you guys.
Oh, I know.
And we could feel it.
I felt so bad for Haley.
I know. She's so just a beautiful person. She just buried us where just lights up a room.
She's only like 2 years older than me, and I can't even comprehend how she survived that, because like, I mean, me and Demonica have played Big Brother online before, so like I kind of can get it, like, because I've played and been isolated by people before, but it's a completely different thing when she had to go through week by week and see each of her friends go home. Like, she lost Bayleigh, then she lost you, then she lost Scotty, then she lost Fessy, then she lost Scotty again. It's
Yeah.
like
I
just
think she
the
was
fact that
ready
she
to
went
lose
through
Mousy
that.
at that point. Kind of.
Mm.
Yeah, I felt so bad for Hales being there by herself. But, I mean, she held strong. She really did. And I don't, like, I think that OTEV is really the only thing that I would change. I think
Yeah.
I really can't think of anything else because
You still own that comp, though. I mean, no
It,
matter how
look,
the outcome
the
was,
second
you
that,
own it.
did you know about the Vegas account?
no.
So there was a Twitter account called Vegas, and it had a picture of Rachel Riley, and it leaked everything that was going to happen. It leaked what was happening in the diary room. It was leaking what the competitions were going to be the day before. It leaked when the double evictions were. It leaked everything that was happening behind the scenes. It was talking of it.
Oh,
It's the whole reason why we knew about, like, did you know that Sam apparently like threatened to quit so many times? Yeah, exactly. And like we didn't know about that until they told us. And then the reason we got confirmation was when they showed it on the show of Sam like being so desperate like to leave. Like she said in the diary room in the finale, like they showed like clips of it on the recap episode of her being like, I could walk 5 steps down the hall and make a left and make a right and I'd be out of here. But this account told us everything. And the second that they said OTEV was the competition, everyone said, well, Rockstar's done. Rockstar's not going to win. And then it was like, I don't know about that. But then you got so damn close.
And you're strong. You were getting up that road. Like, you were giving that rope hell. You were, like, you're really strong. Like,
thank you. Yeah, I was beasting through it. And I mean, the only thing that really made me feel okay was that, like, I went to jury and I was able to be there for Bayleigh with what she was going through. And so,
yeah, that.
yeah.
Did she tell you when you came in?
Well, she was still, when I got there, we were excited. She shared the news that she was pregnant, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's so pumped." And then stuff just started happening, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's not good." Like, but I was just being a support. And I have 3 kids, but I had 2 miscarriages in between Aradia and Avalon, just in my life, which is the older 2 girls. And I had told her that in the Big Brother house. So like, even though I would have loved to have won $500,000, I can't imagine anybody else being there with her when she couldn't talk to her family. She couldn't talk to Swaggy. She couldn't talk to anybody. So I felt like that's where I was supposed to be, was with her. And that's why I got out when I did,
So it happened like right as you got in?
Pretty much, yeah.
And it was fate that happened.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
that way she wasn't like alone. Like,
I feel
right,
like
exactly.
If there was anybody out of really anyone in the house, even pre-jury, like the closest thing would be Steve. But Steve couldn't understand that. He's got a dick, quite frankly.
Right.
But if there was anybody this season that could possibly understand and feel for Bayleigh, like it would be you. Like,
right.
So I think it actually was perfect that you went in. And, I could tell something was up when Bayleigh was screaming at Tyler so much that her teeth started bleeding. Like, did you see that?
Yes.
It's her tongue, right?
It was her tongue. She bit her tongue, but it was the wildest thing. Like, we joke about it. Like, I was like, you're like a blood-spewing dragon. It was, like, crazy.
They came to slay.
I get mad sometimes, and that's never happened. I'm like, you've got to be pissed off, baby.
That's a whole other level.
It didn't even phase her.
Demonica's
Like,
had.
it didn't stop.
Demonica's a badass.
Yeah.
I'm pretty bad. Yeah.
My friend Kenny came over and he was talking to me about watching me on the show. And he said that he had never in his life seen me as mad as I was on my daughter's birthday yelling at Brett. He said, I mean, Kenny has known me since he was in 6th grade and I was in 8th grade. And that's a long time. And that's a lot of madness to go through. I was never so heated because it's like a weird pressure. I think that place can just make you a little crazy.
But he was
Absolutely.
he was doing the most though. Like he was making up like these crazy. Like it was actually pissing me off. Like,
Right.
you know, we get to see everything, and so we know like that he's being like, you know, horrible. And it just was real when he lied like that. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
There
Right.
was like no reason to specifically go after you. I didn't understand like what the point. And what really got me was why did anyone in the house believe? Because
And he kept doing it over and over again, and they
that
kept
you
believing
still
him.
voted to keep him.
Yeah,
What?
I know. It
Why
was
would
crazy.
you do that?
Because I think it's the same reason they kept Paul in the house, or they keep the person that everybody really wants out. They keep that person in because they know that that person is nobody's going to, you know, want to vote for that person.
Right.
And
Exactly.
that's how I knew you were smart too, because you were the first person in the whole season that said Tyler needs to go home. Seriously, wear that as a badge of honor.
Tyler definitely, you can look at him and tell he needs to go.
Right. I was just like, this kid is gonna win the whole thing. And when you're in a competition trying to win the whole thing, that's the one you want out.
There was the one episode that they did, and then he was on this other show called TKO.
I heard that.
And he was killing it on that show. And I was like, they don't even know that this kid's been on TKO. Like, he is a dangerous player.
Right. Exactly.
And it's a love and hate relationship because at the same time, he's great. But then you're like, oh my God, he needs to go.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like if he would have won that HOH, I feel like he probably would have won that puzzle, which we're going to talk about in a second too. The Caitlyn puzzle. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I feel like you could have been the person to send him home if you just could have gotten that HOH, which you got so close to.
Dylan's like this. He had to take it tough. He took it tough.
Yeah.
I did take it tough. If you look back at my tweets, I was like, yes, Rockstar's going to win HOH. And then it was like, fuck.
Math is my kryptonite. I was just thinking, like, if I could go below, I thought maybe she would guess above, because if you guess above, then you bust and you don't get. So yeah. I was like, I don't know.
You have to be strategic when you.
Yeah.
And it's a pressure cooker. It's a lot of pressure. It's like, I can see my kids if I win this. I can fucking flip this game if I win this. It's a lot of pressure, and it's live TV.
So,
exactly.
What was it like when you got out and you looked at your Twitter account and you had hit the K? Like that your followers were amazing. Like, how was it?
I love the people that follow me. They're like so colorful and artistic, and just, I mean, it's amazing to see this outpouring of love. Like, I had no idea. And people writing me the most beautiful emails about how I inspired them, and just like, I'm the hero they deserve, and all this crazy shit. And I'm just like, oh my God, I don't think my head can through doors anymore. Like,
I mean, that the people that on Twitter, like, I feel like Twitter is the biggest Big Brother community for Big Brother. And I mean, like, you couldn't not stop seeing your face in people's profile pictures, like, it's just amazing. I was like, I bet she's gonna love that when she comes out.
Seriously. And like, I'm just so, it still trips me out that I have like gifts of myself, and I'll like answer people with them.
That's the best thing.
And they're all cool. Like, they're all cool.
They have me geeking out, man.
I put your name in, like, I was doing a post today, and I put your name, I put Rockstar in, and you like the first 5 gifts. It was crazy.
It is crazy. It's so weird. It's so weird to like go to the grocery store and somebody's like, oh my God, Rockstar. And I'm like, hello.
I just love your nickname too, Rockstar. Like, I just love that. Like, I remember seeing your interview, and like you explained like your nickname was given to you by like your mom because like you would be a partier and stuff like that. Like, did you know that there was going to be another Angela? Did you plan to have a nickname going in, or did you just like have to have a nickname?
So
good question.
I could tell that there was another Angela because I was asked many times, did I go by Angie? Did I go by Ange? I said, no, my name is Angela ROCKSTAR. I go by Angela ROCKSTAR. You can call me my full name if you like. There could be an Angela ROCKSTAR. And it's so they were just like, we'll call you Rockstar. And I was like, all right, fine.
Yeah, they even on like your thing, it doesn't say Angela quote unquote ROCKSTAR Lantry. It said Angie. Like,
I
yeah.
know. I think it's so funny when I was going into the house, and it had me geeking out. Right when I was going in, before we ever went in, and there's like all these BB alum in the audience, and they were like, Miss Vanjie.
Who said Miss Vanjie?
They were calling it out of the audience. I was like, I better not go out first.
Did you hear about did you hear about the Minion thing with JC?
Oh yeah.
Chris showed me that.
So I went to the BB20 premiere party too, in NYC, and I was talking with some alumni about it. Did you hear on the main stage, people were yelling in from the audience Minion. They were chanting it to JC.
I think he was in the other group, so I didn't get to hear that.
Dang.
Like
Two separate groups.
Go-go dancer. That's a good way to put it. Is he a go-go dancer or something?
I think so. I think
But,
that's.
I mean, something like that is, unusual for a person that's in that field.
He didn't fit a role
I've
either.
actually seen worse.
Yeah.
Did you see the Spanish judge show he was on too?
No.
Oh my god. I want to see if I have a clip of it, but I don't want to get copyrighted. But
were you shocked to know that people didn't like JC? Like the public didn't, or a lot of the people didn't like him? Was that
JC?
I think I was like somewhat shocked, but not fully shocked. He's kind of like, he's a little bitch. Like,
Thank you. This is
he
like,
really is. I mean,
I'm telling you, like, there is going to be so many people that are going to just be like, for this season, you sipping that tea, like. I want to talk about JC, but just know that on this I'll show you after this, but there is a Spanish show that's like Judge Judy, where he went on and he was getting sued because he was suing someone, I think, because he was outside and I think he was like dragged and he was half naked, and because he was working from a job, and the defendant called him a sinister dwarf.
Oh my god, are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding.
Tell me this.
If I can find it. JC court show, but it was a thing and it was like a meme and everything.
Oh my god, that's so mean.
That is mean.
Sinister dwarf. I'm actually gonna ask Twitter if they have the Sinister Dwarf clip. Does anyone have the JC court?
I think why he's looking for that. I think that's where I stopped liking JC's when he started going after you. Like it just was too much for me.
JC went after me because I wanted Tyler out. And I think JC and Tyler had a final two. Tyler made final twos with like all them people.
That's why he lost.
Have you had a chance to watch back yet?
No, I watched the first episode and then I watched like just a little bit of the second one. I randomly clicked on like a Big Brother After Dark because we DVR'd everything. Mm-hmm. But Chris is like trying to convince me to watch the live feeds and stuff. He's like he just wants me to see everything, but it's so surreal to like watch that.
I'm gonna help you with that right now because I know you've done other interviews and none of them have talked about this because they're all very PG shows. So we're gonna talk about this. Did you know that JC, he did this before your eviction, during your eviction, and after your eviction? Not just one time, not two times, multiple times. He was not the only one. Brent, I'm calling him Brent from now on because of the Julie Chen thing. And I want to talk about Julie Chen soon. I don't know if you know about this, but JC was part of it. I don't remember if the rest of Level 6 was part of it, but I know JC and Brent were the spearheaders. They were body shaming you for a majority of the time in that house.
Oh, really?
They were commenting about how fat you looked, how you like were afraid to like how you wore a shawl like to cover everything up, and a lot of Twitter, the toxic ass hoes were joining in on it, and that's what started this wave of body shaming, and it was awful. And I was like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? This woman is, how old are you? You're in your 30s.
5. Yeah.
35, and you look like that? Like, are they blind? But that was the biggest reason why Demonica and I
she definitely is not bad because she took that fucking rope like a champ. I'm sorry. So
exactly.
I never saw that. This is news to me too. I'm like, I never saw that. But
that's crazy. I mean, they're gonna feel so fucking stupid because, like, quite honestly, I mean, I like having a body. I love right after I have a baby, when I have like this big old donk, like I love it. But honestly, like, I'm a small person, so I get down to like 120 pounds, and I try to eat more and more and more. It's because I like having a body. I'm going back down to that every time I've had a baby. By the time the baby is a year old, I'm back to being like
my
thin.
sister's like that.
Yeah, and so they're gonna feel real dumb. Like that's I kept saying like, I just had a baby. Exactly. Like, how are you gonna body shame a postpartum? That's crazy.
Well, you know what's the saddest part about that though is, I mean, the best part about it is, there are pictures that people took of before and after of Brett. Yeah, he shouldn't be body shaming nobody because he gained at least 10 or 20 pounds and lost a lot of muscle mass while he was in that house. I always say this, fat shamers become fat.
But when his personality makes him not like the way he acts in the house, the things he did. And why do they scream? Why are they screaming in the DR room? Did they tell you guys to scream?
No, but they do get us like real hyped. So like people talk about how, I mean, like sometimes they're like one of the things I've noticed about Twitter about the haters, like the I guess the L6 fans or whatever, not all of them, because certainly some of them are very cool, but the ones that come after me are like, which accent are you going to use or whatever? And I'm like, well, sometimes it's like 3 a.m. and I'm real tired. And I'm talking, but sometimes in the DR, I'm like, yes, what's up? Because
and that's just the talk.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I don't have different accents. It's just like hyped or like sleepy or whatever. But so I guess his hype voice is being yelling. I don't know. I haven't really seen it yet.
I don't know.
Very annoying. I mean,
he looks like a member of the Village People half the time.
I did think he looked like he would do some gay porn when he first came into the house.
I won't lie. Like, he's really cute, but
that fucking goatee. I don't know what you're talking about, Demonica. He looks really incestual.
So unattractive. Like, they're just so arrogant. Like, it's really arrogant. And
he looks like the embodiment of Kentucky.
That's where Winston's from. Winston. He's from Kentucky.
Oh, have you heard about Winston too? I didn't even write this down on my notes, but did you hear about Winston's dream about Brett?
No.
So, okay. This is why I fully believe, like, it can't just be a bromance, at least from Winston's side.
Okay.
Winston had a dream.
God, I forgot about him.
Winston had a dream that Brett was I think it was either he was taking photos of Brett or Brett was taking photos of him naked, covered in barbecue sauce.
Oh,
exactly. Who the fuck has?
Well, I mean, you
don't have a wet dream about a friend.
Going on.
What'd you say, Demonica?
I said you could look at. Actually, I forgot about Winston because he was pre-jury, right?
Right.
Yeah, I totally forgot. But I will say this: I was so glad that he was gone because he literally, I don't think he had any personality. Like I didn't like him at all. I thought that was like, but I could definitely see gay boy in him, like, you know, like butch gay boy club, you know.
Totally.
I just
took the bromance way too seriously.
Like, I mean, the cuddling was one thing. The cuddling was another thing. Oh
my god.
The getting the matching goatees was another thing. But the nail in the coffin for me was just that dream that but why did he even talk about it was the thing. Like, if my friend told me, like, hey, I had a wet dream about you, I'd be like, oh, cool. Like, nah, I'd be taken back.
Well,
Yeah,
there were pretty girls in the house, and I didn't see him chasing any of them.
that's true.
Aw. You didn't. Brett didn't even. Well, Brett kind of Haley.
Brett was with he wanted Haley, I think.
He did want Haley, I think.
Ooh, and Caitlyn. Oh, we need to talk about Caitlyn. I want to talk about JC too because too though before we like forget about him because there was a lot of stuff with JC that happened too. Oh, Evil Dick gave me he gave us the link to the thing. So I'm gonna try figuring it out.
Do you think that Caitlyn really can see the future or has premonitions? Did you buy that?
I mean, unless her spirit guides are lying to her.
I mean, that one time she did go up and she was like, I had a feeling somebody was talking about me up here, and it was true.
Yeah, but I mean, you could probably say that anywhere in the Big Brother house and it would be true. Somebody always talks about it.
She told Tyler that she was talking to his dad and that fucking Dove was her grandma or grandpa.
You should have seen her eviction coming.
Yeah, seriously. Or I don't know. She made a bad move early on, and I had told her that it was a bad move, and it turned out to be a bad move, and I can't remember specifically what it was. And I said to her, okay, so are you going to listen to me next time? Like, I know what I'm talking about. And she was like, well, I need to learn things by myself on my own. And I'm like, you're fucking up my game, girl. I can't be trusting you to learn shit on your own. I'm trying to win $500K. Like, you're over here learning lessons and shit.
Caitlyn started a lot of controversy.
She so easily turned, to the other side. Like, they were able to just talk to her one time and then she can change her mind. Like,
that was it.
I would never want to work with somebody that will change their mind at the drop of a hat.
Not in that game, or really anywhere else, actually.
Well, Caitlyn started some controversy for. Firstly, did you hear about? She said the N-word on the live feeds.
I did. I don't know that I heard that one. I heard some other things. Why?
This was the thing around it, and it became a whole debate. Me and Demonica have talked about it. I did a live stream on YouTube about it. So she was singing, I think it was a Drake song, and one of the lyrics of the song was the N-word. Now, she said the N-word with an A at the end, like it was in the song.
I just don't think it means the same thing. I think that people take that and they just make everything racist. Like, just because if it's in a song, it's in a song. It's a difference between it being in a song and you saying it to someone, Like, there's a huge difference. And I think, but I also think that if you know that it's going to cause controversy, try not to say that.
Right. I don't know. I've always loved like rap music, hip hop music, Baltimore club music. Like, I mean, and I've been hearing that word forever, but like if I'm singing along to something, I just drop that part of the song. Like, I don't say it. You know what I mean? You just.
My problem with it is that I think Dylan, you said that she said, "Is it racist if I say this word?"
I don't think that she said that. I think someone else said it. It might have been another time, but there was a lot of shit that was said in the beginning of the season. I mean, JC continued it on later in the season, but I know for me, and like, it's hard for me to give my opinion on this because even though my heritage does come from, I have Russian Jewish heritage and I do have Jamaican heritage. I'm a passing person. I don't have dark skin. And while I guess from my roots, I can kind of understand what it feels like, I can't talk about how I would feel if if someone dropped the N-word in front of me or they dropped it in that context. So it's like, it's easier for Demonica to give her opinion on it because she is a person of color.
Right.
I know for me,
where it was invented.
I know for me, my thought on it, and I got a lot of heat for it because, but I don't think when she said it, she was thinking, she didn't mean it maliciously. She didn't mean it in a bad way. She in that pressure cooker. I just think that try not using it, but if it's part of a song, it's like, but don't use it in like regular language. Don't be like, oh, well, these
power. I think that word is given too much power and energy.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so much actual racism and there's so much actual wrong shit, like the shit JC said. Like, there's so much actual racism to focus on that that this is not something to waste time on. And
Right.
some people don't feel that way, and I can respect their opinion.
My new thing is to call people skanks. I don't know. I've been calling people skanks like left and right.
I like that.
I
Skank.
love it because you don't hear it all the time. It's like,
That's
you skank what?
Yeah.
She's gonna have her
We
own
looked up the
section of the
definition.
show that's
Remember
called Demonica Exposed with Demonica, and she's gonna have like the weekly skank of the week.
And
Yes.
I'm blocked now because Twitter, like I'm blocked now because they reported it. Because I named somebody the skank of the week.
Oh.
And I got reported. So I can't like tweet. I can still see Twitter, but I can't tweet out for like 6 days.
You're in Twitter jail.
Yeah.
That's why I made that new account for her, Demonica Tweets, because the other one is in jail right now.
That is
Skank
funny.
of the week.
The skank. Who was the skank of the week?
This girl named Alexia or something. I was on her finger, and what she did is she took a picture of me, and I played a game, a Big Brother game with Dylan, and but one day I was just minding my own business, and they would just do stuff like the haters, like you said. She just put a picture of me where she took it to the Face app and like made me look really awful.
But it was a photo of her because Demonica was on Jerry Springer when she was 18, and like she was on an episode called The Clash of the Scorn Love or something like that. But it was like just after she came out. It was just after, like, she was only a teenager still, and they took a photo of her and they like put a smiley face on it, and like
the teeth are like really yellow, and like the smile literally comes. And Dylan, I was like, Dylan, this is Photoshop. He's like, you're just smiling. I was like, first of all, that's not me smiling. He really thought that was me. Like,
I don't know. Like, maybe that was your smile when you were 18.
Anyway, I retaliated a couple of days later.
Yeah.
I called it exposed, and I was going to expose people, and my first thing was the skank of the week, and I had a picture, and she reported it, obviously. But, and we were just getting ready to find out who the fatty skank of the week would be.
I love that. I love the skank of the week.
I actually have that right now.
That's fantastic.
So many, I wouldn't even know who to nominate.
So this was it. Tomorrow. Who said it came with Oh my god, it was the other one got taken down.
I deleted it. I just made her look fat in the, like, you know how you can make a person fat? And that got more responses than the one she did of me. But my thing is this, the reason why I feel like, and this is a great example, because I feel like you were kind of singled out a little bit in the Big Brother house. People didn't accept you. Like the Brett group were very judgmental of you.
Yes.
So do you think that that's Big Brother? Do you think that? See, my thing is she attacked me like that, which doesn't hurt my feelings because I can take the best punches.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Big Brother, and if we're playing a Big Brother game, why not? If you're in power, why not put me up and take me out that way instead of not putting me up and just attacking me? I thought that wasn't, at that point, it wasn't Big Brother anymore.
Right.
It was more personal.
I get what you're saying, for sure.
Is that him in drag?
This is the.
Is that JC in drag?
This is JC on Un Enano Sinistero, which is, I think it's Spanish for,
maybe you can't
the
show
Spanish
that.
For the sinister dwarf. So this is the courtroom scene. Tell me if
how did you even find this? This is crazy.
Evil Dick tweeted it to me.
This is crazy.
Oh my god, there he is. He looks a lot taller though, actually.
He does.
When I first met the sinister dwarf.
Did that upset him?
Yeah, he said there's a difference between dwarfism and...
Oh, he does not play when it comes to that.
Mm-mm.
No.
But I thought that was...
He corrected her right away.
That's crazy.
Do you think that his okay? So we haven't even touched bases on the touching stuff, but do you think
Oh,
that
yes.
before we do you think that his reaction to the public's reaction to that video was right? Do you think that he handled it professionally?
Wait, which thing? JC?
Yeah, and all the sexual allegations.
We need to talk about this because I've seen interviews with Tyler, and Tyler still believes that he was having a nightmare while JC did this, and that is not what happened.
That's crazy. So what happened?
So
The
first thing that he did was
he was kissing like on his arms, and he was just kind of caressing him while you could see it in the dark and the lights. And,
while he was asleep?
Yeah, and then like Tyler would move over and he would like scoot over closer, and then at one point Tyler put his arms above his head and he licked his armpits and then turned over and then kissed him and turned over. But
there's a lot that happened, and
he was kind of like Tyler's actually the next day is talking to somebody about how uncomfortable he's been, like, you know, sleeping in bed with him. But it was a big outpour over Twitter. People were asking for him to be kicked out of the house. So then they addressed it. That's when they addressed it, because people wanted him out. Like it was that bad.
And that wasn't the only thing he did. Before that even happened, he touched Tyler's dick at one point. He just randomly came over and grabbed his dick, but everyone laughed about it. He took an ice cream scooper and was scooping. I forgot who he was scooping with it, but he like went under and was like scooping.
It was Haley.
It was Haley. Haley was using the bathroom, and JC tied the door open while Haley was taking a shit. So the cameras could see her while she was in the bathroom, and he wouldn't close the door until Sam, of all people, yelled at JC to close it. And JC got mad at Sam about it. And the thing that really got people pissed off was Tyler had told JC before they went to bed, he said, I want to sleep alone tonight. So JC, after Tyler falls asleep, crawls over, starts caressing his hair, kissing him, and then at one point, he puts his arms underneath the covers.
You've not seen this?
I'm waiting right now for someone to tweet it to me, to tweet me the clip.
Look up Mogo, whatever it's called on YouTube.
There is, because I can show this footage. Like, I can't show footage from the actual show because I might get copyrighted. But I can show this because this was on the feeds only. But it's disturbing. And JC has convinced everybody that it was all because Tyler was having a nightmare, and he was kicking and screaming, which on the feeds, that's not what happened. He wasn't kicking.
Wow.
Like, what are your thoughts on that?
That's a lot. That's crazy. Was this while I was still in the house? I feel like JC slept with Fessy a lot while I was there. So I don't.
The Tyler thing wasn't, but the scooping, the ice cream scooper, and the dick touching was.
I think she was still in the house that week. I think it's right before she left, or maybe it was like right after she left.
That's crazy.
Do you remember him ever waking? Like, do you remember him coming in the room, in one of the downstairs room, saying that Tyler had a nightmare last night, telling it because he told the house the next day.
Because Rockstar wasn't in the house anymore. This was after she was evicted.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah, because he was sleeping with Fessy a lot. Like, a lot. He would always sleep with Fessy. JC. But he always talks about Tyler. JC, I think the reason he wanted me out so bad is because I kept talking about wanting Tyler out.
Exactly. He had like some kind of obsession with you.
I always go for the person that looks the most dangerous. That's why I think I connected with you, because like that's me. I'm like, I'm going in the house. I'm going to see Tyler, and I want him out. Like right.
Yeah.
Now. If I'm not going to align with him, he needs to go.
Exactly. So that's crazy. That's
trying to find the footage right now, but what I did find was footage of his Instagram live where he talked about this.
I have to go, and I'll be right back.
Okay. But he talked about the sexual allegations that he was given, and he said this. He said, "You guys are crazy if you think I didn't know about level 6. Where's the thing about the sexual harassment? Oh, this is him explaining the Minion video. He didn't just send it to his friend. It was on a porn website.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find it, but he didn't.
It looks kind of like Wendy Williams. You have to watch him.
But there was an Instagram live that he did where he talked about the sexual allegations, and he basically said, "You guys are crazy. I would never do this," and he was basically saying, "Fuck anyone that says anything about the sexual allegations." I'll wait for someone to send me it. I'll get it at some point, but
I'll find it in a minute. I think I know where it's on. It's like a. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can just put in, Big Brother producer step in, like you can just put that in on YouTube and it'll pop up.
It was on TMZ and everything.
Actually, that's crazy.
Just put in JC and it'll be like, it'll probably just be there.
JC actually broke the record, I'm pretty sure, of TMZ articles. He beat Aaron Grease and Gina Marie in season 15 when they were saying exactly.
People really did not like him. People wanting him out.
That is crazy. I mean, that's crazy. Like, he was totally, like a little evil man, but I mean,
he really was. He was like
kind of entertaining. I mean, for what it would, being in there. But I had no idea. That's nuts.
And he also said, and this is why people didn't like him like so much. And the weirdest part for us was that he was getting a really good edit on the TV show. Like, you have no idea. All the while he was doing all this stuff, he took a Snickers bar. See, this is the difference between what Caitlyn said and JC said. So, of course, there was the episode where they talked about where JC said the N-word. You probably know about that with Bayleigh.
Yeah, I know about that.
But he said it again, and he laughed about it. He was opening a Snickers, and instead of saying Snickers, he said N-word.
Are you kidding me? He really did that?
Yes! And he laughed about it. And so
how did that not get all controversial?
Because it was JC, and I feel like a lot of people were afraid. Demonica, oh my God.
You mean to tell me him licking Tyler's armpit is more important than him opening a Snickers saying that?
Right.
Yeah.
And they all lost their jobs because they said what's in the dark, you probably can't see it. That's why she lost her job. They thought that was bad. Now he opens a Snickers. That doesn't make sense. It's gotta be.
That's crazy.
It was unbelievable, and I really want to find the clip. I should have, if I would have known that we were doing this during the season, I would have saved it. But that was what got me. And the thing was, no one talked about it. No one talked about it. Everyone was riled up about what Caitlyn said. Everyone was riled up about when Aaron and Gina Marie were saying all this shit. But with JC, all anyone talked about was his sexual harassment, and almost nobody, and I mean nobody, talked about when he opened that Snickers wrapper and he said, with the ER, the hard ER, and said it multiple times and laughed about it, and so did the rest of Level 6. And this was at the point where Tangela was a thing already, so I think people just wanted not to associate that. But it was awful. Like, JC did so many awful things in the house.
Trump supporter? Like, didn't you tell me that he was a Trump supporter?
He is, yeah.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
No sense. Is he for real with that?
Yeah, that's what he would say. He was like, I get so mad at the gay community because they act like you can't have your own political beliefs, and Donald Trump is doing good for America, and that's what I care about.
And what is his race though? Is
he's Spanish.
He's an immigrant.
How can he possibly be a Trump supporter and his people are being like shoved out of this country? That doesn't make any sense.
Because he's like, Spain Spanish. He's like, I don't want to agitate anybody from Spain. Spain is a beautiful place, but he's like white Spanish. Like there's like a different kind of like it's different.
Oh,
yeah,
so you consider yourself like a white Spanish person.
It's like Spain Spanish. He's
that is insane.
Yeah.
I met Jose at the BB20 NYC premiere party, which I'm gonna go to next year. I hope you go to it.
I hope so. That would be great.
But I was but I remember talking with Jose. Jose is like was like defending him, saying that like he knows that he can be a little bit whack sometimes, but like there's good in there. And I was like, this is before we even knew anything about JC, so I got worried. I knew from the jump that if Jose, fucking the Messiah, is saying that there was something up with JC,
right?
A funny anecdote too. I remember I was at the premiere party next to Jose and Natalie from 18, and I forgot they were next to me, and I forgot they were friends with JC. So when JC went in, most of the people at the premiere party in the VIP section started chanting "Minion, Minion, Minion," and I did it too. And I felt so bad because I forgot they were friends with him. And I was telling Natalie about it. I said, Natalie, did you hear about the Minion thing? And I was like, it's kind of funny. And like Natalie's friend agreed with me that it was funny, but she said, no, it's not funny. It's fucked up. But I think she only said that because Jose was sitting right fucking next to her.
That's crazy.
It's funny.
That's so crazy.
Oh my god.
Well, guys, I have to go because I have to work very early in the morning.
Yes, no, I understand. It was beautiful talking to you.
Yeah, like this is I've gotten to meet. I haven't met that many Big Brother housemates, but I got to play a game with Sheila from Big Brother 9, and now I can say that I met the amazing Rockstar, and it's great. And if you're ever in Memphis, and if you really do want to host a drag show, maybe we can get you to host one of our events in Memphis, and you can see my show and get to meet me or something like that.
How cool would that be?
But you're really cool, and I'm a huge fan. And as far as I'm concerned, you are the winner of Big Brother.
Oh, thank you.
And if we make it on there at the same time, just act like we don't know each other.
Okay, bet.
Yeah, bet. Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna step off, but this was
Love you.
amazing night. Thank you so much for being so cool and down to earth.
Thank you. This has been awesome.
I love her to death. She's so fucking awesome. And like, I should show you clips of how much of a badass she is, because she has taken on full groups on her own. Like, if she gets on the show, like, they better watch out, because it's going to be your daughter's birthday every day. So, just a few more things, and then I'll let you go. But we talked a little bit about JC. Did you ever hear about the ghetto skin controversy?
Yes, I heard about that. That seems like a lot to deal with. I don't know if that's being dealt with yet, but
I think it was the biggest reason why Angela and Rachel, you'll notice when you watch it back, but they were basically invisible for that time week, because I don't think that they were comfortable saying anything on the feeds anymore, saying anything in the diary room, because because it was a whole article, and like Big Brother had to announce that we talked to them in the diary room because of what they were saying. Rachel only said that her skin was becoming dark like Bayleigh, but Angela was the one that said that it was like ghetto skin, which is like who even thinks
that's just crazy. I won't say specifically any one person, but there were many undertones in the house that did not make me comfortable.
completely.
Yeah, a lot of it was very. Bayleigh had to sit me down, and I a lot of times I would just be like, isn't it 2018? Like, what is happening here? And she's just like, you're from an area that's very diverse, and a lot of these people are not. And so it's not their 2018 is not your 2018. And I'm like,
exactly. And I think we all tend to forget that. Thinking about Tyler and Angela, for instance. Aren't they like from like literally like 10 minutes apart? Like, didn't they grow up in the same like town? Like, they probably don't. They haven't seen the world really. Like, I remember there was a person that was on Survivor, Jonathan. He said he never left his town, and like he called he said he had never met a black person before, and he said that he called them exotic. I was like, what are you talking about, exotic? Like, what the fuck? But there really are people that don't understand the world and don't understand that you can't say certain things. And like, I feel like microaggression is, like, people were saying microaggression is words, but I feel like microaggression is when, like, for instance, the way that you'll notice with Big Brother and Survivor too. Interestingly, with Survivor, the first boot is almost all the time, I think it was like an 80% rate of it's not only a woman, but it's also a person of color. And you'll notice with Big Brother, the past couple seasons, I think the farthest a black woman or black man has gone was, I think it was Zakiya, who got 10th, which was an 18. And that's when you look at the big picture. Like, I think like the farthest a black person has come was, well, Danielle Reyes, but that was all the way back in season 3.
Yeah, for sure. And I've been talking to Zakiya a lot lately. She's real cool. And but I remember when Tyler was HOH and Fessy was like, he wanted to use the veto to take, I think, Steve down. And Tyler said, well, Bayleigh's going up. And I was like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not doing that in this season. Like, no.
Because then Bayleigh would have went home.
Right, exactly. I said, no. I mean, really? Like, really, Bayleigh? I mean, there's, at this point, you know,
there were so many choices. It's like,
so many
why?
Why is Bayleigh the one you're putting up?
Because that was before Swaley had really formed. Like, was a thing, and that he was saying, oh, it was Bayleigh, and Bayleigh was the person that he teamed up with in that HOH too. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like, and like Swaggy C is like, he would. So there's a lot to unbox with Swaggy C, but he is a very bold personality, but I think the biggest reason why everyone was so intimidated of him, because look at Paul, who played almost the exact same game, where he was really bold in your face. He had the friendship. He even made t-shirts with that shit. So he was basically how Swaggy C was. And you'll notice that Paul made it to the end 2 times, while Swaggy, he got second out.
Yeah, like when people in the house would be like, he's so aggressive, I was like,
exactly.
I don't like how you're saying that, and I don't think he's that aggressive. I think he's a 23-year-old kid popping off. Like,
if he's aggressive, then Brett's aggressive.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yes, yeah. You're gonna. I mean, a lot of people like. I mean, and I love Sam, but Sam was like, her biggest thing that she hated was bullies. And yet, I feel like Brett was, I mean, in this game, the biggest bully in the house.
Exactly. Straight up, he was.
Right. So I just...
And look at this. He was, if Tyler didn't, because it used to be only jurors were eligible. If Tyler wasn't eligible for America's Favorite Player, Brett would have won America's Favorite Player. He beat Haley.
I know. I don't understand how that.
I don't understand either. Like, I understand that a majority. I mean, look at Jeff Schroeder. He won America's Favorite Player 2 times, and he said that Dumbledore thing. He said that Dumbledore can't teach kids because he's gay, and that he would like molest them. He said this in season 13, and he won America's Favorite Player twice.
Come on, America.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come fucking on, America. And that was the thing I so appreciated about you, was you were really the only one that was in the house that said, and it seems like it just went downhill after you left. Like, people started saying worse shit. But you were the only person that, like, you were saying what Twitter was thinking and what America was thinking, and it was like, oh, how is he aggressive? Why are you saying this? Why is Brett still here? Why are you guys keeping him here?
Right.
It was just ridiculous. But luckily for you, there was a lot of controversy with Julie Chen while you were gone. And she was so focused on saying Julie Chen Moonves that she messed up Brett's name.
Which is hilarious.
Did you hear about the Julie Chen thing?
I did, and I don't even know. It's like so hard to process all this information. So much scandal. I mean, I felt like there was enough scandal just trying to come out, and there's all these other scandals.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, what did you think when she said, I'm Julie Chen Moonves for the first time?
Like scandals on scandals on scandals. It's crazy. I love Julie. I mean,
me too.
It's so hard to even say, because there are aspects of like, you get married and, you know, if you work through shit, you stand by your man or whatever. And I mean, Hollywood's always kind of been a patriarchy to do stuff like that. But I mean, also it's like, you know, are you actually supporting that establishment? If you're just supporting your husband, is it just as big as a couple, or is it as big as like something that big? You know, I mean, a boss at Burger King could do the same shit. You know, I don't know. It's like, it's very nuanced. I don't know. I send my love to Julie, because that's got to be hard to be going through.
Oh,
on a
she's
lot of
so
levels.
Strong to be able to go. She didn't even stop Big Brother. She kept coming on, and this was going on from like, I think it was Haley's eviction was when it was like Fessie's eviction that it really was like happening, and people had been waiting to release this info until Big Brother started, because they knew that would like affect Julie, because the talk would be going on and like Julie had like called out women who stand by their man before this. So I think that Julie is standing by him because she probably thinks he's innocent. I don't know if that's true. I don't even want to fathom that, but there's a big debate on, will she be back for Big Brother? There's multiple sources saying yes, there's sources saying no. I just don't know how she's going to be able to do celebrity now that celebrities are going to know this. Like Wendy Williams read her to filth, and Wendy Williams has said she considered doing Celebrity Big Brother. So what'll happen?
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. That is crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Julie, she's so kind and like so warm. When I can't, like, I figured it was gonna be real business and like real, you know, you're over here and I'm over here. Yeah. And when I came out, she gave me the best hug. She put her hand on my leg and was like, I mean, I felt like real connected to Julie. Like that was like a sister that I, you know, was gonna be best girlfriends with.
Yeah, like she was so warm and opening. Even to Brett, she was warm and opening too. And Angela, who she said all that shit about how she has things fucked up with her life. Like, she was warm to her too. It's like Julie seems like such a cool person. It's like, I hope she doesn't lose Big Brother. I know she lost the talk, but I hope she doesn't lose Big Brother because of what all the stuff going on.
Yeah, that stuff she said about Angela and Brett, I guess, like, I learned my lesson coming out of the house, because my mom had sent that to me, which it wasn't me saying anything against them. It was me feeling validated that like, hey, the outside world felt how I felt, or Julie was like, and man, I got those fans of Angela, that you're a horrible person. I can't believe how mean you are. You're so bitter, and in the house all you did was complain and blah blah blah. And I was like, man, I didn't say anything bad about Angela the entire time, but they've like considered, I mean, they're always tagging me in like posts about how I must be so jealous, and I just keep throwing up a picture of me and my man all happy, like, I'm not jealous, I got a family.
Don't take their shit to heart, like, for real. Like, I'm telling you, these are the same people that are going to come to you going, follow me, queen, follow me, king. Like, there was people coming on our fucking page that said, tell her to follow me. I'm like, how fucking desperate are you? Like, what is it, like Pokemon? You're trying to catch them all, so they're all following you? It's like, what's the point? Like, I have never once asked any Big Brother person or any Survivor person to fuck, because that's fucking tacky. Like, why are you gonna do that? Like,
Right.
like I didn't ask you to follow me. You followed me on your own. Like, I just feel like that's weird. Like, what's the point? Like, you know?
It's weird, and then I also like, I get my heartstrings tugged on. Like, what if this follow just makes that person's, like, what if they're having such a rough time in life, just wherever they're at, and this one follow could, like, I don't go around just following everybody, but it's like when Facebook first came out.
Yeah.
And like, when you first started being able to add people, that when it wasn't just like links to colleges, and all these people wanted to be my friend, and one of my girlfriends was like, why are you accepting all these people? And I'm like, well, what if that made a difference in their life?
It's so true though. There's like, there was like, I forgot what it was, I think it was Unfriended, and there was a girl that she had no friends, and then like that one friend was like what kept her going. Like, you never know what someone's story is like behind closed doors. But if you see someone with like a Haley photo or an Angela photo, maybe skip over them. Because these people were calling Angela furniture the first week, but then she like started sucking Tyler's dick, and then it was like, oh, we love Angela, Amazing Race, please. Like,
that Hilton Head.
that fucking Hilton Head. Oh my God. You weren't there for that, right?
No, Scotty told us, and we fell out. Told us when he came, he told me and Bay, and we were just like, oh my God.
And they were pissed about that. They were so butthurt.
Yes.
Angela was crying. Tyler was like punching shit. He was so pissed. It was so funny. Let me tell you. Like, believe me, it was the shit.
I'll have to try to find that live feed.
And what is it like in the jury house? Like, I've heard people like say, I know it's like different from like time to time. Like, what do you like do in the jury house? And like,
so there's movies. There's like a movie theater room, which is really cool. And there's a pool. You can paint. You can cook. You can sit in your room by yourself with a closed door. They give you a journal. Because you're not allowed to write in the Big Brother house, like, at all.
Which I hate. I hate that.
Yeah, that's terrible. And for me, I really liked it because the jury house we were at had a beautiful yard, and there were so many flowers, and there was like hummingbird feeders and butterflies everywhere, and there were beautiful statues of goddesses, and I was like, yes, this is great. Like, it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. And I had a bathtub that had a jacuzzi in my room, and it was like real. After being there for a while, I started to feel guilty because I'm like really legit on vacation at this point.
And you got to be on vacation for like what, 5-6 weeks? Like, you got to chill the fuck out.
Yeah, it was nice. It was real nice. So I was definitely ready to get back into my home life and everything.
Yeah, definitely. After so many,
because it was a good transition and a good decompressing. I can't imagine being like JC or Casey or Tyler and being in there till the very end. I mean, I could imagine because I wanted to win, but like coming out and it just like hits you and you're just,
especially Casey with fucking Rihanna following her, like,
that's crazy,
right? I was like, what the fuck, Rihanna? Like, damn, I didn't know you watched BB.
I know. Casey's real smooth though. That's a beautiful lady for sure.
Seriously. So were you ever surprised? Were you surprised by any of the jury votes? Like, or did you like know it was going down?
I was surprised by Haley's.
You were surprised Haley voted for Tyler? What did Haley not like Tyler, or was like what was it?
I think we all just liked Casey more. So.
And that's the thing too. Everyone said that this was a bitter jury. Everyone said that no. If you look at every single season of both Survivor and Big Brother, every single winner can be traced back to getting their jury votes because of the connection they had with someone. Even if, like, perception's reality. And Tyler could have played the best game in the world and been like Dan Giesling, Dr. Will Mastermind. But the fact of the matter was that he didn't really connect with you guys. And he even said to Bayleigh, I don't want your jury vote. Well,
Right.
big mistake, because 5-4. But Casey took the time to connect with people. When Haley was on the block, even though Casey's the one that sent her home, she comforted her. Like, when Bayleigh was getting fucked up, Casey comforted her. Like, Casey did that shit, and like everyone said that Casey was just a soldier to them. It's like, well, Casey didn't have to do what she did, and she did it, and everyone liked her, and everyone wanted her to win.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, there wasn't a person that didn't have a good relationship with Casey.
And that's like a threat. Like, Angela might have been, and Angela was responsible for a lot of evictions. Even as much as that pains me to say, she was the reason why originally the vote was actually going on you, because Tyler was pressuring everyone to do you, because he really wanted you to go home, because, you know, Caitlin was trying to get that Hilton head too. But,
right.
Which is God, that whole situation. Apparently she gave a blowjob to Brett. Like it was going fucking down. But he was trying to keep Caitlin in the game. And luckily for you, actually Angela saved you. Angela went around the house and told everyone, no, Caitlin needs to go home, because I don't remember the reason. I think it was just that Caitlin was more like, they knew where they stood with you, and they didn't know where they stood with Caitlin.
Right.
The next week, that whole thing with Bayleigh, like, but Angela might have been in control of those evictions, but Angela treated you all like shit. Like, the goodbye messages she gave you and Bayleigh and Rachel. Did you see her goodbye message to Rachel?
I heard about it. I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
She said that, like, she was irrelevant. Like, they said the final two was irrelevant as week 2. She said all this nasty shit to her, like, to the point where she got asked, do you really want to send that? You sure you want to have that be your goodbye message? It was bad, but
that's crazy.
Angela might have been in control of all that shit, but she didn't do your job. Your job is to vote people off and be likable enough where they want to give you $500,000.
Right, exactly. And she was like an ice queen. Just very...
Had hidden her HOH room.
Yeah, I tried to talk to her multiple times. Like, I tried to talk to all of them, though. I mean, I tried to talk to Brett and Winston in the very beginning. That's what I think that a lot of people don't understand when they're like, I mean, people come at me and they're like, you're entitled and you say all this stuff and those are the nicest people in the world. And I'm like, maybe to you, I would walk into rooms and Brett and Winston would literally stop talking and stand up and walk out of those rooms.
Brett and Winston, they were awful. And in the beginning portions of the game, they would, just like JC would, they would spend so much time, like, before they even knew you, this was like early portions of the game, they would just spend so much time talking shit about you. Like, seriously, like, it was body shaming. It was shit about your hair. It was shit about like...
Chris said something about me being a mom. They talked about...
your mom. They said you were like a bad mom. Like, they said all of this shit. And I just didn't understand why people were still supporting Brett and Winston. But then I thought, you know, people... they gravitate towards what they consider. I don't even know how half these people they consider attractive, but
right.
they gravitate to the young, attractive people because it's what they can relate to. But if they saw the feeds, like, no. And you did right not trusting them and not associating with them. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be able to see everything, but just know that you chose the right people.
No, I know. You can feel it, though. You can feel, like, who's real and who's just, like, a down cool person versus like those other people.
Princeton, whatever the fuck it was.
Right.
Thank you guys. Thank you God for Scotty when he ended that shit. It was a party when that happened. Like,
yeah,
it was like choosing shit or shit. Like when those two were on the block together.
definitely. I love Scotty. He's so quirky and fun, and like he's hilarious.
He seems like a really nice person.
He really is.
He
He's
does
good.
stand-up comedy, apparently.
Yeah, he says he does like improv.
That's like so cool. Like, I wish him the best. I hope he doesn't like move out to LA though. I hope he stays where he is right now. Like, so many people after they go on Big Brother, they move to LA. And fair warning too. I was talking to I'm not gonna say who it was because confidentiality, but they were Canadian alumni, and and I'm also friends with people that went to the Vegas thing too, like because they did. Do you know what sequester is?
Yeah. What I was in sequester?
It's like this thing on. Do you know? Remember Audrey from season 17?
Yes.
So she hosts like an online version of like the show, but it's like formatted different. It's more like
Yes, I do know. Okay.
Yeah, so they had alumni that went to it, and I'm friends with some of them, and some of them told me about shit that was being said too. And it's Big Brother Canada specifically, but there's some BBUS people too that get very cliquey, and they excluded my friend, and she was an alumni that did really well on the show, and she gets like excluded from stuff, and they pressure people, and it's like it's awful. Like and it's why when I saw like how good your cast was postseason, like everyone seems like you didn't get along great with Brett and Winston. You didn't get along great with Angela, and like there hasn't really been any like fallout or tension or anything like that. And like when you look at past seasons, like people have said with the Canadians at least, like that after season 2, like Netta would like form like a. Have you seen any of the Canadian seasons?
No, but I heard some good things.
Yeah, it's good, but there was a girl named Netta that like, Ika interviewed you.
Yes, I loved her.
Me too. She's awesome. But like Ika talked about it on the 5th season that Netta would take all the people that were in like the clique of like the alumni, and they would tell people not to talk to this girl named Sabrina that got runner-up on the season and was like partially responsible for why Netta didn't make it to the end. And they would exclude people, and now they're kind of doing the same with Ika. So it's like awful, like, and be careful, like for real.
Oh, that's not cool.
Yeah, seriously. And I'm very fortunate to know about like some of this stuff because I've gotten to meet people online like yourself, and like it's sad to hear, and like I hope that doesn't happen to. I don't think it will. You're such a genuine person, like so down to earth, like the fact that you saw my message to you and you instantly were like, that sounds dope as shit, and like I know that you're not going to get fucked up with those people, and hopefully those people don't fuck around with you, because then there's going to be a problem.
Right. I like to play, but I don't play. Like
So before we end this, because we do have some questions from Twitter that I promised people that I would read, and then we can call it a show. And I'm so fucking happy that that we did this.
yes, I can't wait to get it all figured out so that you can, edit and post and whatever.
Yeah, I'm just glad that we met. Like honestly,
it's awesome, definitely.
Okay, so the first question is from Melanie, and she said, "Is there an update on Sam? She's been missing in action since finale, and fans are very concerned for her mental health."
Sam is good. The whole time she was in the house, she always talked about she would be going to her cabin and getting her head straight. As soon as she left this whole process, she was going to go for a week. So I texted Sam, and she's going to come visit me. She said when the dust settles. So whatever that means for her. but her and my man Chris are probably going to be best friends, and they've been texting more than me and Sam have.
Aw, I love that. But I definitely could see that. Sam is definitely someone that I think if anybody, even the people that made it to the end, I think that she was, besides maybe Bayleigh and Chris, not your Chris, like Swaggy C.
Why
Chris.
you see, yeah.
Yeah, I think of anybody, besides maybe those two, she definitely needed to clear her head the most and like
Yes.
just take a check out and like not
Yeah.
deal with this Twitter. I mean, I thought JC might not want to go on Twitter for a while too, but I guess he didn't feel the same. Next one is from Fisherwoman. Does she have a real name? No, her name is just Fisherwoman. But she said, "Be honest. Did you understand JC?" And she has a couple of shit. She said, "Did you understand JC? How crazy was sharing a toilet with all of those people? Were the ants under control because Sam kept the place tidy? And how was the shower?" Ooh, what happened? Oof, did we lose? Oh no, what happened? Oh, her phone might have fucked up. That might have been it. We have been doing this for a while. Text. Hey,
Hey, I'm sorry, my phone died.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, her phone probably died. It's okay. Hold on, I'm just gonna hide the other thing. Oh, did you hear any of the question, by the way?
I just heard the one about Sam.
Oh, okay. Well, Fisherwoman asked, was there ever a point where you couldn't understand JC?
I mean, I think I could always understand JC. His accent is thick, but like
There wasn't like.
It wasn't terrible. I could understand him.
She also said, how crazy was sharing one toilet with all those people, and how was the shower?
Sharing one toilet with 15 other people is the worst. But it's given me such an appreciation for having two toilets amongst my 5 people that are using them here in my own house. So
For real. And you only have 5 people.
yeah,
1/3.
exactly.
And the last thing she said was, were the ants under control because Sam was so tidy?
There were ants everywhere, but Sam definitely helped with that, getting rid of them for sure.
There's like ants every single season that like, because it's like the same set that they've used since season 6. There's always an ant problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wildebeest asked, that sounds like a bomb-ass drag name. Wildebeest.
Wildebeest. I love it.
Wilda is a beast.
Yes.
So he said, I heard you and Brett got along while in the jury house. Is that true? And how do you and Angela get along? Are you still bitter towards each other?
Brett in the jury house was real mellow. He apologized to me. He said everything was all game. He said that I reminded him of his older sister. I don't know if he just wasn't trying to get stomped down in the jury house or what. Angela and I mean, we hugged at the round table. We haven't really talked about at all.
Yeah.
I could say that, like, neither one of us, any of those 2 people or myself, follows each other on Twitter. So I don't know that we're bitter, but I think that, like, I'm sure we're all bonded forever
Yeah.
Absolutely. But there are people in life that like you can tolerate, but you know, that's like, oh, that's an associate versus that's like a friend. You know what I mean?
They're like that's like a Facebook friend. Not,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So I feel like I don't feel like you should. I don't feel like why would you want to put yourself back into a situation where you were forced with that person and like you'll always have that thing. Like, you know, like I didn't necessarily like all the people at my school. It was very well known, but you have that connection with them because you went through that process with them. Like I went through 13 years of schooling. You went through a fucking pressure cooker of 3 months that only a select few people on this planet will ever be able to understand fully. So it's like you're bonded forever, but it's like you don't need to really with anybody.
Force. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
don't need to force anything. I mean, my family and my support, like I said, people keep tagging me and stuff with like, great. I mean, good. I'm glad you found love. I hope it works out for you. Like, I don't care. I have love. I have a strong 5-year relationship with kids. Like,
Exactly.
no, I'm not jealous or anything like, are you crazy? Like, no.
They're like a decade younger than you and they
Right.
knew each other for like a month and they're moving in together. Like,
I mean, time definitely moves differently in the Big Brother house. So, like, I understand how showmances become so strong because
yeah, definitely.
you're with people for 24 hours a day with no distractions. You know, my 5 years is probably like 3 years in the Big Brother house or something like that. Or maybe that would even, you're never with the person that you're dating for 24 hours a day. You're not even,
yeah.
you know, with your husband 24 hours a day. Y'all go to work. You know, like it's not. So I definitely understand how showmances become so strong and how people do last a long time. But also sometimes people don't last that long. I wish everybody well. I hope some of them learn some lessons about
Yeah.
life in general. But I mean, that's not for me to do. That's for them to do. I've got my own.
Like 100% agree with you on that. When you think about it, really, Angela and Tyler did know each other for 99 days and spent a lot closer time than most dating couples do. Like,
Yeah.
and even Bayleigh and Swaggy, like, they were together for I think it was 23 days, and they got engaged. And you know, it. At first, I was like a little bit. I was taken back. And but when you really do think about it, they did spend as much time as like a couple that dates for like
a year. Yeah, I mean it's so strange because even like watching the show at home, I never understood like why are these people so like showman, like what, this is fake, this can't be real. But then when you're in that situation and there's zero distraction, you can't even like turn on a movie and chill. All you can do is just bond with a person, talk, and get to know every single detail of their lives. And you're in this situation where you're going to see the best and you're going to see the absolute worst of people. You're going to see stuff that you were, you know, that, I mean, certain behaviors that you wouldn't change for, I don't know, years dating somebody because there's only one bathroom or whatever. Like you have to just, I mean, whatever you're embarrassed about, you can't even be embarrassed about because you're on top of each other all the time.
Exactly.
So I understand how showmances do happen. Does it, I mean, I'm happy for them if it works out or, you know, whatever, like live your best life. So I don't really feel bitter toward anyone. I really didn't. I'm not trying to victimize myself at all, but I really felt ostracized a lot by the other side of the house. So I don't really need to. I mean, what I'm gonna put why, you know?
And that was something that really got to me because it seems like even with Haley, like they were more accepting of Haley and they were more accepting of some of the people on your side. But it seems like with you specifically, they're like they specifically wanted, this was their plan. The only reason why you did go home was because they felt like you were the only person they could send home from that side with the hacker twist. Their plan was to put you on the block every single week to make you feel like shit and have you watch all of your friends go home. And I was just like, that's evil. And they wanted to ostracize you the way Paul's group ostracized people last year. And it was just off-putting. And it really showed that people really do stick with what they know, because you don't look like them. You're a little bit older. You have the hair, you have the glasses. Yeah, it's like you're different from them, but it's really interesting to see how humans really do ostracize what they don't understand and what they're not comfortable with.
Right. It's crazy. It was an interesting experience because I don't know, around where I'm from, like I'm different or whatever, but people are like, that's a down motherfucker. Like I fuck with her. Like, you know, I've never met anybody like that, but that's that motherfucking Angela ROCKSTAR right there. She's cool. Like, and people just, I'm normally able to win people over, or, you know, and not even to take advantage of them or anything. I just like, people like me, but I did not feel that coming from those people, which was a weird thing for me. It really was. Sometimes I was like, damn, do I have leprosy or something? Like, I just don't get it.
But you got through it, and I'm happy with you.
I did. I made it.
Next thing. Oh, Alicia. I think this is... Oh, there are some questions. It says, she said, thank you for being unapologetically yourself. It's refreshing in this world. You were so much fun to watch. What was the jury house like? We already talked about that. Were you really stuck there, or did you guys sometimes get to go out, or just make sure you don't have access to spoilers? I think she's asking if you guys were allowed to leave the jury house, which you guys weren't, right?
No.
Yeah. There's only been one jury that's ever left the jury house. It was in All Stars, and they got in so much trouble. They left the jury house to go to a bar, which is hilarious, but it's a big no-no.
Yeah, no. No, we did not leave at all.
So next is another girl named Melanie. She says, has she seen the episode of the clip that Tyler asking if Angela was the replacement to see that Tyler was telling the truth, not Bayleigh? Oh, so she's saying that Bayleigh said, and I don't think Bayleigh was lying. I think Bayleigh just maybe misunderstood what Tyler said, or it was a miscommunication. But when Bayleigh was fighting, Bayleigh said that Tyler was asking if was saying Angela should be the replacement, but he really said he wanted to know if Angela was the replacement.
Because he phrased it like, well, Angela's the replacement, right?
Exactly. That's not...
So I haven't seen the clip, but I know the whole conversation from being there. But
well, that's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's how he said it. So, I mean, I don't know.
Next one was from Austin. Oh, Austin said, tell her to follow me, OMG. Next is from Mondo Retro, who, she has some pretty cool glasses herself. She said, girl, with a U and 4 R's, where did you get those bitching glasses?
They are prescription. They are Prada. I got them at the eyeglass place in the mall that I go to, like, a few years ago. And, you know, were they expensive? Sure, but I can't see. So I wear them every single day, unless I'm wearing my contacts, and I've had them for years. So, I mean, if anybody wants to get on me for having designer glasses or whatever, I mean,
they're bomb as fuck. I will say that they are bomb as fuck. Like, they were my favorite thing.
I really don't like my face. So I really can't see. I have astigmatism in both eyes, and I just cannot see shit. And I have tried over the years to find a pair of glasses that, you know, some people wear the little rectangle ones.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes people can look good in glasses. I just, no matter what pair of glasses I put on, they just, they don't look cute. So I was like, I'm going to get these big, like, trippy ass glasses that are just like, they're so funky it doesn't matter if I have a face for glasses or not, because they're like real funky. And I mean, I've had them for years, and that's it. I've gotten them repaired a couple times. I can't even imagine wearing another pair of glasses.
And they fucking make you that and like the yarn thing that you put in your hair.
My dreadlocks, my fairy buns. Yeah.
I live for that. And then there's one more, and it says, tell her, this is from user Mountain22XX. Tell her that she is awesome. Sincerely from me, Ray. And tell her to describe her personal best game move that she think made all season. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Ray. Let's see. My personal best game move. I really feel like I tried to make a lot of game moves, but as I didn't like actually have any power, it was trying to convince other people to make game moves. So it's kind of hard to say. I wanted to be very strategic, and I had like a set thing that I wanted to do. Had I won an HOH, I'll just say that. We'll just make one up. Had I won an HOH, I was going to put Tyler next to Angela, because Tyler is, was like always talking about how he's a veto king. And I really like would have been like, well, fine, take yourself off then. Because he wouldn't have been able to use it on Angela. And that was my plan for a while. I targeted 3 people. It was Brett, Angela, and Tyler.
Those were the people to target.
Yeah. And those were the people that I identified walking into the house. Those were the people that I wanted gone.
And you were right. So would you ever do Big Brother again?
I would love to host a competition. I don't think I could leave my family for that long again. Like, I really don't. I mean, if it would be cool to do All Stars, just because it would be a whole bunch of like other past house guests, and that's very interesting to me. But I don't know. I really like. Now, if I could go in with my man, Chris, if it was like couples or something, I would do it, because I feel like a lot of me being in there, I really missed like my partner, that I could just, I couldn't call him and be like, yo, these motherfuckers getting on my nerves, yo. Like, talk me down. I'm about to zap the fuck out. Talk me down. If I could go in with him, we would win the whole thing. Like, legit. That's my partner, like, and is my best friend. And that I would definitely go back in if it was like couples.
Well, did you hear that, Miss Grodner? You need to do a duo season, and you need to put in Miss Rockstar and her Chris. And and then you need to put in Rachel, and you need to put in, what was her, Adora Borealis, I think is her like her daughter's name. They need to be a duo too.
Yeah.
But that is all. I am so thankful that I even got to just meet you and like talk with you. It was so much fun. This was a great way to start off the season, and I really hope you hear back from the PR people. Make sure everything's okay. I don't want you to get sued. I don't want us to get sued.
I'm not trying to do any of that.
Yeah.
Good.
And thank you for being what I consider to be the closest thing to representation of our people that we've had on Big Brother. And I know you didn't win, and I know that you didn't even get single digits, but to us, you're the winner, and just thank you. And it was really wonderful meeting you and talking with you.
Thank you so much. I feel like, I didn't win 500K, but I really feel like I won like 500K friends. So
hopefully, like, for real. And if you ever need anything, you can hit me up. I'm always down to talk, and I give great advice. People say so.
I love it.
Okay.
Likewise. Well, you have a beautiful evening.
You too. that is it for the show. Love y'all. See y'all later. And as always,
Love you.
deuces.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, I'm going to end the recording.